and welcome. It's the 30th of June 2004. Guys, this is just a little update on the pole shift because it's a game changer. Remember I said we was tracking the North Pole, and when we expected it to get to 40 degrees across the northern hemisphere, we was going to be in those weak field lines, and at that point we was expecting those changes to take place. Well, it's not going to occur like that, simply because the North Pole is actually separating, and it's the centre of these two North Poles which appeared to be tracking over the northern hemisphere. The only way we can gauge as to how close we're going to be to this separation, and when it does, like I've said before, it will relocate. If I can just get the points wrong, let me just sort this out. Right, so once there's a separation here, this pole will connect with that one because opposites attract each other, and then there'll be probably a retanglement of the other two poles. Now, in the experiment that we conducted, this pole attracted to this one. At that point it fractured, leaving a North Pole unconnected, and was repelling this North Pole away from this North Pole, and that flicked over to the position down here. And then I dare say at that point there would be a retanglement of the poles to form a new configuration of a single North Pole somewhere along the latitude of the equator. But like I say, this isn't going to be the case whereby it gets to 40 degrees now. That was the outcome of the experiment which we did, and it showed that once it got into the weak field lines, it then went through its transition. What we're going to have to look at here is and monitor. We need more data, and the only place we're going to get that from is from the Swarm mission, or the ESA, European Space Agency, and that is the only way we're going to get that, is if they're going to be forthcoming with the data. So, and what we need to look at is the fracturing of this pole here, and monitor the distance that is being closed between these two. As you can see, it is rearing up towards the equatorial line on the planet, and when it does, we will have a connection. There is already, I believe, because if we look at the 40 nanotesla region on that, we can see there is already magnetic connection taking place. However, there is still a strong field of connection holding that North Pole. But as time goes on, I can guarantee you this one thing, that two North Poles will eventually repel each other, and what you are looking at in this data is two North Poles that are beginning to fracture, and a North and a South Pole coming within the vicinity of each other. And it is in the nature of magnets to attract its opposites, and for like poles to repel each other. So it's a matter of time. We know this is taking place. We know because what we have been actually monitoring is not a migrating North Pole, but the centre field between the two North Poles. That's what's been migrating across there, and that's why we thought we was looking at a single pole. But you can clearly see from this demonstration, or this data, that there is two poles, and you can see that the centre of these two poles is, or at least the one centre of these poles, is already over Siberia. However, your compasses will not point over the direction of Siberia, because you are in between two poles right now, and that is where the focal point of any compass will be, at the centre of this splitting North Pole, because at the moment both of these still have the polarity of a North Pole, and both on the bottom both have the polarity of a South Pole. And it will only be until the fracture takes place in between these two poles that we will get separation of the poles and movement. So we can monitor, if we can get hold of the data somehow, annually migration or separation of those two poles, and an attraction of these two poles. And that really is all I've got to say on the matter, guys, with regards to the pole shift. There is a lot of other issues that we deal with on this channel, and I've been struggling to get some time to do that reverse Newman motor, whereby we have the coils rotating as opposed to the magnets. And we're going to look at the efficiency of probably the coils charging up enough of a magnetic field within them, because if you draw a current off it produces a magnetic current, and therefore poles. We're going to look at see if we can get the thing running itself. So like I say, there's more than just pole shift going on in this channel at the moment, but I just wanted to bring you up to date with that and what we're looking for. We're actually looking for how close these two poles get together, and we're looking for a weakening in the field lines between these two north poles, and that will dictate how close we are to the magnetic pole reversal taking place. Like I say, I do feel that when we do have magnetic reconfiguration of all these poles, we will have a single north pole and a single south pole. That is, if this Earth still has the ability to put its magnetic field back after undergoing a reversal. Why do I say that? Because prior to the last time the Earth went through a major magnetic reversal 780,000 years ago, it used to regularly go through a reversal every 250,000 years. So one question I have is, why did it wait another 500,000 years before it went through this transition, which it is going through right now? And does it still have the ability to magnetically reconnect its configuration after that transition? I'm sure this is some of the questions that the ESA and NASA are considering themselves, because it must be quite daunting for even these departments to see the magnetosphere weakening by around 20% as opposed to what they would tell you, 12%. It is actually more than that. But remember, as that magnetosphere weakens, so does our protection from the harmful cosmic rays that come in, bound from the galaxy. So guys, like I say, just an update on that, and there'll be a link down there if anyone want to contribute to the research ongoing on this channel. And like I say, it's not just to do with the pole shift, which should be very important news to you guys right now, because I dare say up until a few weeks ago you was like myself and didn't ponder the reality of 4 magnetic poles on this Earth right now, or 4 dipoles, in favour of 2 over the northern hemisphere and 2 over the southern hemisphere. So like I say, there's a link down there guys. If you want to add towards this research, you certainly can do that and support it. And as always, be prepared and be safe. I'll say bye for now.